Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another juicy TA Escalation cast. Guys, I had meant to get you one for Christmas. I know you were hoping for it. You were fiending. You were craving it, and I let you down. But I do promise I'm going to get you a epic 2.5 hour New Year's cast. But that's not this game. This game is just going to be a little bit of an appetizer. This is a 2v2 from a recent game. I think it's a practice game for the TA Escalation League tournament. Oh my god! Oh my god, this is the first time that this has ever happened, actually. Somebody predicted that I would cast this game. Mr. EXE knew it. And he reached into the future and sent me a message. I'm a little bit flattered, actually. That's impressive. So, thank you, EXE. You knew this game was going to be legendary, and so we're going to hope for the sake of the audience that it lives up to all that hype. So, let's go ahead and introduce the players. Mr. EXE here in the top right needs no introduction. The Russian legend. And starting vehicles first. And here in orange, Mr. Tagrock. What a team. What a combo. These two together are going to be quite a force to be reckoned with. So I will say the southern team, Mr. Smokester and Jorn, they have their work cut out for them. This is a wombo combo of a team here in the north. And the map is called Global Warming. I think that's quite appropriate for where we are as a global society at this point. It is getting very hot. This is it can't be allowed, you know. Where are the cold winters? Where are the white Christmases? Those are gone. But you know what? I'm sure you all come here to get away from that bullshit. So let's jump into the game and see if it's as legendary as Mr. EXE predicted it would be. Remember, he sent me that message before the game even started, so he's kind of he's made a situation for himself where he needs the game to live up to the hype. He assumed I would cast it, so let's see if he can give us a show, my friends. Let's see if this 2v2 can go the distance, as we all hope it will be. Guys, this is definitely one of my favorite maps ever. Dioxide at his absolute best. It can have 2v2 or 3v3. You can even play it 1v1. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. EXE knew that I would see this. He's a goddamn prophet. He's trolling me on my own cast. Unbelievable. You know, this is a family stream, EXE. You can't be leaving messages like that anyway. Anyhow, EXE is not just playing Total Annihilation. He's playing troll the YouTube audience at the same time and doing a good job of it, I would say. But the southern team with a nice push, a nice raid. There's a few Jeffies. They will get past EXE a little bit. They do take out a couple mexes, but nothing too devastating. EXE, despite all of his trolling, he's playing the meta game. He's playing TA, but also the meta game of trolling the stream. So, despite him playing two games at once, being a true pro gamer, he's still managing to keep his APM high enough, I suppose, to give the audience the challenge that he did promise. He has created a monolithic standard for himself. He's really kind of made a commitment to us that this is going to be an epic game. So we're going to see if he can pull that off. But right now, it's pretty even. Looking at the scoreboard, if you want to call it that, the economics, it is very close. But EXE, I think, will be a little behind just because he had two players focusing on him. Rock has more or less been left alone this whole time. And Rock doing what Rock does best, macro. He will simply overwhelm you with sheer firepower if you let him. So right now the game is still very close. Neither side incredibly ahead. But I will say the Southern team has done more aggressively. Like they definitely had that early raid. Got something accomplished. Now going for a second attack, but EXE seems to be ready for this. There's a radar here. Guys, see how EXE kind of hides the radar in the trees? That's totally intentional. Radars are made of paper, and so if EXE can hide that, he will get the vision of his opponents, and they can't really stop him from doing it. So, very nicely done by EXE. I will say I think the Southern team does have a bit of an advantage right now because they have these two squares of mexes, but it's not a huge advantage. Still pretty close. Both teams attempting to get some harassment done, but I think the Northern team definitely still in this game, and everyone doing fine. So Smokester now on 2 vehicle plants. Guys, the second factory that's built is going to make a huge difference in how this game goes, because there's a lot of different things you can do. Everyone went vehicle plant first, and we know that. Here comes Rock with his big attack, but there is a commander and a D-gun, and I think with that D-gun, even the leveler isn't going to be enough to break through here. There's too many flashes, and finally I think this instigator will be cleaned up. So nicely done by Mr. Jorn. So as I was saying before, everyone started vehicle, but where they go after that is really going to decide the outcome of this game. Jorn has gone K-Bot second, but as you can see, he is maxing out on metal. He can't even use it quickly enough. He might even want to build a second K-Bot lab. No, he's going for a vehicle plant. So yeah, this is what Jorn needs to do. He needs to use his metal. He's going a pure T1 macro style. In the meantime, EXE and Rock defending their bases. Tons of light laser towers. The construction vehicles are in trouble. This one is almost certainly dead. Oh no, it's being repaired. Oh my god, the Dragon's Teeth clutch and EXE, the Russian legend, keeping that construction vehicle alive even after it should have died. But EXE, he's been on the defense this whole game. Finally, for the first time, he will show his aggression, taking some flashes into the southern part of this circle and seeing if he can get some mexes for his trouble. I think he'll get some mexes. Could he get the construction vehicle, though? I don't think he can. There's just too much here defending. But he does get a few mexes. He gets a little bit of scouting information. The game will stay pretty even, but I like what EXE is doing here. He is just building walls and walls of defenses to try and stop this constant aggression. But guys, like I said, where the players go after their first vehicle plant really will dictate where this game goes, because you can go into K-Bots, you can go further into vehicles, or you can go into air, or you can do what Rock's doing and go into advanced. So there's so many different options on this map, which is part of why I love it. Rock went 1 vehicle plant, 1 K-Bot lab, 1 advanced vehicle plant. So far, EXE is just on the 1 vehicle plant, but that's because he has been pumping so many resources into defenses, which isn't necessarily bad, but he doesn't want to fall behind. EXE finally going to his 2nd vehicle plant, but you can see he has the most metal stored because of that, because he hasn't built his 2nd production factory. But now Jorn, he has gathered quite an impressive army. I like the composition here. The Jeffies in the front will provide the scouting. The flashes act as a like a front line, and then in the back the Rockos can pump out the DPS. They're sort of like the cavalry. So I think with these 3 units combined, Rock might be in a little bit of trouble. This is a very terrifying early game army. This construction vehicle is almost certainly going to die. It's not even a question. And here in the bottom, look at all the instigators. That is terrifying. But there are just as many javelins. EXE going for the javelin strats this game. I love it. We don't usually see this many javelins in one place, but EXE doing something different this time, and the javelins will outrange the instigators. It's a good counter. This will force Red to retreat. He simply cannot... there's just no way for him to take this fight. These javelins are just designed to chunk the instigators. And Rock has somehow managed to push Green back as well, so the game's still very close. But I'm surprised EXE didn't go into air second or third, but no, instead he's going to advanced vehicles. So all the players should, by about now, be going to advanced. We're around 11 minutes in. I would assume that everyone is at least starting. Yep, Red has just started. So we're around the phase of the game that everyone starts moving to T2. Maybe not quickly, but slowly. Gradually, they will make their way into the next phase of the game. It is called TA Escalation after all. TA Escalation. The game must grow. We must get to the higher tiers. But Green now spamming out the tossers. That's an interesting option here. Green finally going into advanced K-bots. So at this point, everyone has at least started their T2 labs. I think Rock started first, though. He was the first player. He's almost got it finished. So Rock may be the first guy to... Yeah, I think he will be the first one. And let's see what he wants to do. He's going to go straight into a con. He's got to be careful, though, because I think his investment into T2 puts him a little behind on the army front. And Green has an impressively sized force. Flashes and Rockos and Tossers. Oh my. Can Rock hold this off long enough to get his T2 production into full swing? If he could get some Reapers out or Manticore, that would help him tremendously. But this construction vehicle is in a lot of trouble. It's running the wrong way. Green going straight into the defenses. I don't like that he's splitting his army here. If he keeps this all together and just pushes straight into Rock's base, he could have a serious chance of just winning outright. But splitting his army is definitely hurting him. The levelers are going to clean up that left front, and the light laser towers and the storms will clean up the east side, and so Green will be pushed back. I think he probably could have broken through if Green had just pushed through one point with his entire army. There was a good chance he could make it into Rock's base, but guys, it is really hard to know that when you're in the game. You cannot see what we see. You don't have God mode omniscience. And so sometimes it feels like splitting your army is the better option. Because you can cover more area and kill more mexes. And he did obviously kill a lot of eco. So it's not as though the attack was completely useless. It just would have been better if he had focused his force, I think, into one area. But now with the Manticores pumped out, or being pumped out, I do think that Rock will begin to stabilize. EXE with all of his Javelin shenanigans that we already know. Red now making it to advanced K-bots, working on his first pyros of the game. And finally, Green still working on that advanced K-bot lob and working on an aircraft plant. So Green, I think, is definitely the most behind here in terms of tech. But Rock has fallen behind economically. He's only got 31 metal per second. So we'll have to see who comes out victorious on this western side, it will make the game interesting. EXE doing a little attack of his own, but this is a very weak attempt. I think EXE knows that's not going to get too much accomplished. He will lose most of his units, but he is now on T3. He still has... no, excuse me, that was Rock that sent his... I don't know why Rock sent his stuff down there. EXE's army's still over here. All very well combined and microed. So let's keep an eye on this. EXE really in control of his side of the map, but he hasn't even really begun building T2 combat units yet. It's just upgrading his economy. And Red is going to try to find an avenue of approach into EXE's base if he can. Green moving through. But now with the Manticore in the mix, this is going to be quite a bit harder. The Manticore do love to eat T1 units for breakfast. But Green has an impressively sized army. Is it enough? I don't think it will be. Rock with too much. EXE finally putting the pressure on. And, is there anything else? EXE still hasn't gone into air. It's a little surprising at this phase of the game. The Manticore starting to come out on top, which is a little bit to be expected. I don't know if you guys could see that, but Wotan is spamming me as I'm trying to cast a game. I can't be left alone. I must be harassed during my stream. Green's Advanced K-Bot Lab still not finished. He's going to be so far behind. He does get the aircraft plant, but I don't know. Green has a nice army, but I think Rock is eventually going to overwhelm him with just sheer tech. Quality over quantity. Things of that nature. EXE with another attack. Or shall we say the same attack. Coming through a different vector. Different approach. Unfortunately, Pyros are not that great on defense. They're great offensively, and they're wonderful for raiding, but they're not so good when you're being pelted by an army of tossers. Rock, now, I think the pendulum has swung in his favor. The only problem is Rock is not using his metal. That's a little bit surprising because Rock is usually very good at his macro style. He loves to keep his production high, so we'll see what he does right now, but Green finally building some peepers. Oh my god, what is Green doing? Green has brought his commander into the fray. I have no idea why he's doing this. This is such a risky play. For no real reason. Green using his commander like a battering ram. Oh my god, he's got to be so careful. It's in the red. It's got 8 kills right now. He is nano blocking, so maybe he'll be safe, but if Rock knew how little health this commander had, I think he might go for the jugular. He is chasing him. He is chasing him. Green using his commander as a decoy. Impressive. I do think his commander will get out. In the meantime, EXE still performing the shenanigans in the bottom right of the screen. And, yeah, Green will get away with that. That's diabolical. But Red will attempt to sneak past Rock's defenses, and there wasn't much here to stop this. Unfortunately, EXE will respond, and they might get a couple mexes, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. Rock not even using his full eco anyway. EXE still applying the pressure in the southeast corner of the map. These tossers have really been worth their weight in gold. Red building a shroud to protect himself from this radar targeting. But, yeah. Red's got to be careful. He's under a lot of pressure, and this is just T1. EXE will be moving to T2 any moment. He is now building Panthers, or at least he built this one Panther. A couple of them. So EXE beginning to apply the pressure. The Panthers moving through. Kiting the Pyros with the tosser spam. Battles breaking out all over the map. It's impossible for me to keep up with all of it. But EXE hitting from the middle and from the bottom corner. There is a lot of combat happening. Rock pushing through with his Manticores as well. And we will just have to see how the battle plays out. We really cannot know until we know. I think this army of EXEs is now being surrounded, so it will die. Certainly, it's just a matter of how much it can achieve. But the Manticores are still skirting around the edges and being a nuisance, and EXE still has his main army that he's had most of the game, now with some Panthers mixed in for good measure. And if EXE could start throwing some Bulldogs into the mix, I think this would be a terrifying composition. Please. Please, replayer. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. So, yeah, EXE being very aggressive here. Red forced to respond, bringing his entire army. The Moho Extractor being targeted. Will it survive? No, it will not. So the Moho is taken down. EXE is forced to retreat after that. But has the damage been done? Has the damage been dealt? Like I said, I'd love to see EXE transition into Bulldogs. He is. EXE has heard me. EXE has heard the voice of the gods, and he is now transitioning into Bulldogs. It is the perfect moment for this. It is the perfect situation for Bulldogs. And EXE knows it. He is like a shark that has smelled blood in the water. And the Bulldogs will come to finish off his hapless opponent. Red definitely on the back foot. He's been pushed back. He, at some point, had half the map. He's been pushed back to this corner. But he has upgraded a lot of his eco to T2, so he's definitely not out of it. But EXE's eco definitely, it's certainly better. 112 metal per second. Rock at 63. Jorn at 41. And Smokester at 63. Rock at 82. So guys, yeah, the Northern team definitely looking a little better economically. Rock finally using all of his resources. I don't know how he did it. I'm not sure where he dumped all of that metal into. It looks like he might have actually gotten up a second advanced vehicle plant. Either way, he has a huge army. Look at all the Reapers and Manticore moving down here. The Morty's now being mixed in with the Tossers. Or the Vandals in this case. And this is looking scary for the Southern team. Because as EXE moves down with the Bulldogs, this is just going to get worse and worse. Now he's just finished his advanced K-Bot lab. I assume he'll probably go into Mavericks or Fidos, some kind of shenanigans. But once the Bulldogs get mixed in with the Vandals, this game is just going to explode for Red. Rock now with his Reaper Manticore Wombo combo. And Green's army is bigger, but Rock's army might be better. But I think if EXE and Rock converge on this position right here, it could be game-ending, and it looks like that might be what they do. A little pincer maneuver. But no, Rock will turn west. He will turn towards Green's base. I don't know about that. I would like if they work together. Red with it? He's hitting a critical mass of Mortys. That is a ton of range firepower. This immolator is very well placed to push off any aggression. But Rock now moving west. Can all these Reapers take down Green's massive army of Rocco's, Fidos, and Flashes? The Fidos can kite the Reapers pretty well, but the Reapers are very tanky. It will take a long time. And it looks like Rock just ignoring Green's army and going straight for the jugular, going straight for the base. He'll find this LLT first, but there's a lot of Dragon's Teeth. He will kill it eventually. Green now scrambling to defend EXE. Keeping the pressure on Red, but Red has an impressively sized army himself. All these Mortys and Vandals pushing him back. The Bulldogs will die. The Tossers being forced to retreat. Rock simply pushing through, ignoring Green's army completely, and he will go for the base. He's going to see what he can get done. Ignoring the army and going straight for the heart. Knife to the gut. Taking out the vehicle plant. This will die, and what else can he get in addition to it? Taking out the vehicle plant. Uh-oh, Jorn looks like he might be giving up. Oh, no, he does. Jorn will give up, my friends. Rock has struck the killing blow, so what a game. What a game, my friends. I would have liked to see that one go on for a little bit longer. I don't think Jorn needed to give up just then, but certainly the Northern team was in a better position. So guys, thank you very much for watching. My next cast is going to be like the New Year's epic 2.5 hour bash. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We're going to have an epic stream. Maybe Wotan can harass us some more. And I will catch you all in the next game.